yam with as little as 8 ingredients, then this particular video is for you, because of course we're in quarantine and we do not have the luxury of going to the market to shop for every single thing we need. So today we're going to be making porridge yam with the things that I feel we should all have in the house. Now, without wasting any more time, let's just get straight into the recipe, because I'm excited to share with you guys how I make my porridge yam in the simplest way ever. Okay, so if you're interested, then don't go nowhere, okay? As you guys can see, I already have my yam cut into cube-like sizes. I already rinsed it as well, but I just left it in some water just so that it doesn't change color. Now, the reason I cut my yams into cube-like sizes is because it helps it cook faster and easier, and it also makes it easier for me to eat it when I'm ready to eat it, okay? In here, I have a bulb of onions which I already sliced nicely. Here I have my fresh pepper. This is called habanero pepper, but here in the western part of Nigeria we refer to this pepper as atarodo. I have some salt. Here I have my Maggi Naija pot. I like this one because it's really flavorful. It has this aroma it gives your food, especially when you're making porridge or when you're making soup. And because I'll be making porridge today, I decided to go with my Maggi Naija pot. I also have some palm oil, guys. For me, there's no porridge yam without palm oil. I know some people use tomato base for their porridge yam, but even if I'm going to use tomato base for my porridge yam, I always make sure to add some palm oil. Now, for this particular recipe in quarantine, I'm not going to be adding any tomato base, simply because I feel like a lot of us have run out of tomatoes and all of that, so I'll just make do with palm oil. I'm sure you have palm oil sitting somewhere in your kitchen, okay? Next up is my fish, and for this particular recipe, I'll be using the smoked panla fish. I want to assume that a lot of us still have panla fish in our fridges or whatever, but if you do not have it, don't worry, you can skip this part and just make do with the next ingredient I'll be showing you right about now. Next up would be my crayfish. Like I said before, if you do not have the panla fish, you can go on ahead and use your crayfish, but you might want to use more quantity. The reason I'm using this quantity is because I already have fish, so if you do not have it, please feel free to use just your crayfish, okay? Make sure to take out all the dirt, because you're going to grind this and you do not want your blender crying for mercy when it begins to crush some stones. And last but not the least would be my vegetables. For this particular recipe, I chose to use ugu leaves. Now, this has been washed and sliced as well, but if you do not have ugu leaves, please feel free to skip this part. I really just wanted some vegetable because I mean, my brother and I have been eating just rice and all of that, and I felt it would be really nice and healthy to incorporate some vegetables to the meal. But again, feel free to skip this part if you do not have ugu leaves, okay? Now, the first thing I have in my pot is my yam. The next thing I'm going to be adding right now is some water. I'm going to add water to be around the same level with the yam, okay? That's one way to measure the quantity of water you need. Now, the next thing I'm going to be adding would be my onions. I'm just going to throw all of that in. Next up would be my salt. I'm just going to add this much. Be careful not to oversalt your food, so I would advise that you put in little quantity, then you taste it later on to see if it needs more salt or not. Next would be your seasoning cube. I'm just going to throw all of this in. Next thing would be our blended pepper. I just added some water to the pepper and blended this into a paste, so I'm just going to throw all of that in. Next would be my palm oil. Of course, this is the very important part, so I'm going to add all of this. Maybe not all of it actually. After which, you just cover your pot and let this cook for about 10 minutes on medium heat. Of course, I'll be watching it at intervals to see if I need to increase the fire or reduce it. While I let this cook, I'm just going to go on ahead and debone my fish. You guys know that I need to take out the bone and all of the dirt in it, so that's what we're going to do right about now. I will be right back. Guys, as you can see, our yam is boiling nicely. Now, the next thing you want to add to this is your crayfish. I like to add it at this time just because I feel like when it's boiling, it's just going to bring out more aroma. I'm also going to be adding my fish to it at this point. All of it goes. Now, you might also want to taste for salt to see if the salt is enough, because you guys know we just added crayfish, and of course crayfish has some salt to it as well, so you need to be careful. So I'm just going to go on ahead, stir this for a little bit, and then give it a taste to see if there's enough salt or if I have to add some more. Guys, this is perfect. I do not have to add any more salt to this. So we're just going to cover this up now and let it cook till it's really soft, and then we'll add our vegetables, which will be the last thing for this particular meal. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. This has been boiling for quite some time. I would say roughly about 10 to 15 minutes on medium heat. So right now we're just going to check to see if our yam has been properly cooked. And to do that, you'll be needing a knife. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my knife into one of the cubes to see if it would go in easily. As you can see, guys, my knife went in easily, which means that this has been fully cooked. I know some of you will be worried, oh, my yam is cooked, but then there's still some water. Guys, this water is actually very important because this is what will form the pottage when you eventually stir everything in. Now at this point, I'm going to be needing my turning stick. This is what we use to turn gari. Please do not turn up the fire when you're stirring your yam, because you also want the fire to help you create some steam, just so that this will turn into pottage really quickly. But you can go on ahead and reduce it a little bit, okay? So let's just stir this in. As you guys can see, we do not have water anymore. What we have is some pottage. So I'm going to go on ahead and add my vegetables at this point, so I can stir all of it in and then let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes, and our yam is ready. Guys, we're just going to cover this up for about 2 to 3 minutes, like I said, to let it simmer properly, and yes, our yam is ready. Okay, I like my yam having a lot of pottage, so if you feel like it doesn't have enough water when your yam is ready, you can go ahead and add some water to give you more pottage. But if you feel like you have too much water, you can go on ahead and scoop out some of the water and work with the quantity you need. Okay, trust me, once you let your yam cool off for a little bit, you'll find that it becomes a little thicker. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look, it's no longer as runny as it was before. So yeah, this is what you want your pottage to look like after making it. So I'm just going to go on ahead and dish some for myself right now, so you guys can see what it looks like in a plate. Okay, so guys, this is what my meal is looking like right now. I decided to throw in some fried Titus fish. This is also called mackerel fish, just for some protein. If you do not have any, please go on ahead and eat your yam like that. You are not going to die. Okay, long throw they keep person to say I no get fish, I no go add fish. Okay, now this is me zooming in so you guys can have a clearer view of what this plate looks like right now. Guys, this tastes really good. Trust me, I'm not even saying it because I made it, I'm saying it because it actually tastes really good. And this fish, oh my god. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. If you have any other recipe you want me to create for you guys, let me know in the comment section. Just something we can create while we're in lockdown, not something I have to go out and buy because nobody wants the virus. Alright, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.